Hello and welcome. Right, yes, the already. I do love this. It doesn't get old. It will do. Of course it will. Every feature does get old. But right, well, let's just stop this and pull out of the way because it's really important for the nosh to go, and we'll just start this going again in a minute. Now, come on. Oh, we've moved out your road. Come on. Yes, I've done the chicken shed. It's the one thing I've done right. I've got that many mods on the go. It's a very bad habit of mine. I start projects and then I lose impetus and I don't quite finish them. It's got to get better. I've got two or three. I've got a cow barn that I really like that I've completely ripped apart and rebuilt. Just got one trigger that's playing up and I need to compare, but I've just, yeah, where the washer broke and like I had to dart off to Sheffield and then come back and fit the washer, remove the old and all that type of stuff. And I thought, I just don't feel in the right frame of mind for modding. I thought, it's difficult. But luckily, I have done the one that we needed for here. But it looks awfully much like that. We're not, yeah, we haven't got the cash, have we? 15,231. What have I, remind myself, what did I buy? What did we buy? What did we buy? I might even started everyone's engines. We bought the Recordia. Oh, that was on sale. Yeah, it was a sale item, wasn't it? That's right. Yeah, but that's not where all of the money's got. No, of course we bought the tractor, didn't we? Yeah, I'm being silly. I was in it or looking at it. So yeah, it's I mean, we bought fields. We could do more fields, but it is true. So what are we actually doing? We were just prepping, weren't we? Yeah, we don't really need to hang around. And it is true. I haven't started everybody's engines. Let's just remind myself what we were doing. I think we fertilised everything as well. No, we didn't fertilise that one. But then I'm going to get. Well, I could do that one, I suppose. They're fertilised. We get rid of the mulched. They're completely fertilised. Those two are fertilised once. And so I've been over that then, so it's just 32. Let me flick over that with a Fendt then, and we'll do one fertiliser state with that. I thought I'd done that. I did. Am I going to throw something up? Does it have to finish the mulching and the cultivating on the field to actually get a bonus? Is that it? I'm going to be patient for once. Yeah, isn't it typical? I really could do with putting the... Oh, we can actually put the chickens down. They're not terribly expensive. Oh, but the food. The food. Hang on. What? Well, I don't think we've got any wheat. I'm sure we've got oats and oats alone. Yeah, shed load of oats. And we've only just started all of our things. We've got plenty of... Yeah, the mushrooms and everything are like going each day. So really, we've got that job to do. I think that is it. That was the last field that we got to get ready, wasn't it? We've done the other two already. I mean, talk about on the ball. So it is true. We could really... I've got zone markers on. Do we do that little trick that we've done on the other here? Get that lot gone. And when is the time that you would actually sell the rice saplings? It's March again. Everything's March. Although, look at the price now. It's 3334. That's actually higher than the high price. So let's do it. Let's get this done now. While they get done what they've got to done. Let's get the dragon. Do what they've got to do. Talking Queen's English. Let's grab this little lot. Grab those rice saplings. Take them. I was about to take... Yeah, my thoughts are tumbling a bit. I apologise because it makes you all over the place. And it's not nice for other people. Yeah, so I built the chicken shed, the little one. Oh, it didn't even start your engine. Yeah, so I've got that. So we've got to shift that weight out of the way. So we'll take these to market. I'm going to go into a time lapse for the loading, and we will reset that other tractor that I stopped because it's not going to be. Yeah, it's not going to do very well if that's stopped, is it really? Let's start that going again, and then yeah, I'm going to say my words though. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other... Oh, I have done, haven't I? Oh, nice. Yeah, it's going. Right, okay. Let's get cracking. Yeah, I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Well, I guess we're not getting rich off that. Didn't realise it was that poor. Oh my life! It cost me an awful lot more to buy them. That's a bit cheeky. 600 on Gordon Bennett. That's terrible. Oh, well, I guess we're not. Yeah, I've got to be honest though. If you were doing rice, as in short grain rice, which I'm not sure I ever am again on hard economy, because it's yeah, I think for what I could do, I was said this a couple of sessions ago, you've got to look for those niche things that are really good. Now, short grain rice can be good. It can be good for flour. It's fantastic. It's the best in the game at the minute. Now, can we go this way? So terrible. Those traffic lights are a right pain in the backside. I wish you could go. I would go quite a way out, but there's such a long way to go. Yeah, there's no like quick roads, and of course it's been done that way on purpose to drive us all crazy. So you've got to go through this town where the lights are designed to catch you all the time. Well, and of course they do. Yes, they definitely do. Right, so I think we can go either of these. I mean, they lead to the same place. So indicate. Yeah, I apologise for the bit of a pause. I was indicating and I was thinking, why am I not indicating? And I realised that my side panel had malfunctioned. Yeah, you know, one of those, the last USB device you plugged in is not working or is not recognised. One of those generic Windows errors. So there's nothing wrong with it, just occasionally it'll, for some reason, not read a port or something like that. They all do it every now and again. So just have to unplug it, plug it back in, and hey, presto, it's back, and I can indicate again. Yeah, so we're not going to get rich by selling those, but it is true, if you're going to do it for 3,000, I must have spent an absolute fortune. They're at 350 or 450 per set, so it soon adds up. Yeah, I'm being good. Yeah, it does, it soon adds up. So if you're going to do rice like short grain and use the saplings and the planter, it's not a bad idea. I mean, we've gone into, as I said, I think going forwards, I mean, rice is brilliant, but I think long grain on hard economy has got a couple of products that are really good. The rice boxes that we found are really better than anything. Or I mean, there's losses, I suppose. Nothing's ever as straightforward as it sounds, but it is still one of the basic prices that are good, and the others might be less loss. Also, though, we need to like get one of the grain mills. I don't think I've altered it very much. So one little factory that I found was really totally fit for purpose was the actual grain mill. That really was good. It's quite amazing. It just, yeah, it chugs along twice as good as the bakery. So I think I've tweaked the bakery because the bakery was terrible. I've tweaked almost everything, but I'm not sure I have the grain mill because it was good. If I have, it's only little bits. Because I'm only trying to make it usable, not I mean, I think the Giants ones do 6 tons a year. Mine do 14, like the oils one. So I've like doubled it and a tiny touch more, and I think that's not fair. That's not too bad. It's not like the big ones, but it's certainly a lot better than the basic ones, which I find are just a little bit too awful. So it is hardly worth our time going over there. But at least we've put the signs and things to stop that, and it's on sale every day. So we'll earn a few hundred every day, and that's, I suppose, that it's another very little income stream. And if we were doing short grain rice, obviously it would save us a fortune. That's the way to look at it. Now let's not park where we're going to put the chickens. Let's just move this into water. I think we checked last session, but we'll have a quick look now to make sure that the water is okay in the 2 greenhouses. That looks fairly good to me, as does that. Fantastic. So yeah, these are brilliant. Peas are filled. Well, when I say filled, with as much peas as we can put in them. So that's doing nicely. Rice. Oh, isn't the rice ready to? No, it's late, isn't it? Yeah, it's late. I think it's September. Long grain's the next month, isn't it? It is. So then, our work has finished over on the backfield, so we should have... Now, let's have a look now, because it has intrigued me. So, no, it doesn't give you any... We need lime on 34. Okay, well, I will grab the GTA. And oh, I thought we'd done. We have. Oh, no, it just needs lime. Yeah, so we just need to. It has been fully. Yeah, we've done that. That's what I thought had not been done, but it has. It just needs, these two need fertilising, and then we need to do a bit of liming. So I think we need to do that, although we're not planting those till next year. So let's just flick over with a base of fertiliser. I swear I did. I think I did it, and then of course we've like cultivated it, and it's like ripped it off. I did. I'm sure I did. So it was a total waste of my time because we've ripped it off, and I didn't realise it worked like that. Nevertheless, yeah, I can remember doing it, so I did. So totally wasted my time. They ripped my fertiliser state off, totally. Right, at least that's done anyway. It's all cultivated, ready. So whichever one we've got, yeah, I have a good mind. Yeah, I would like to turn the cultivator section on the one that we've got, because it really has got a cultivator, a proper cultivator. Should really be a no-till. I think it's because it's it really is such a little. Right, no, we will. No, let's go up to the top and come down. It's going to waste so much fertilizer crawling down the hill. I think it's because it's such a good value already that Giants are making special, like, a notice. Wow, can you imagine how much fertilizer they're wasting at 7 miles an hour? Wow, look at the roots on that. Amazing. It's still, I've noticed the graphics glitches. I've taken DLSS off so that it's just on basic graphics settings, and it still is jumping from mesh to mesh, so it really has nothing to do with DLSS. Although I have noticed that there's not so much weirdness going on with the grounds. Yeah, there's still weird glitches going on, but not so much with the ground layer, that like you get weird little things. So I think DLS makes things worse at present. I'm not saying it does normally. I think that's making things worse right now. But I think obviously when Giants hopefully have got a lid on it, I'm going to try it again, it just is. It makes things so bad. The ground in front of you keeps doing weird glitches. All I've noticed today is the colours. They keep going from like high mesh to low mesh. Yeah, I'll best explain that for those. Yeah, obviously being a geek. Yeah, there's different levels depending on your graphics settings of, like, yeah, and I apologise to those who really do know, because I'm quite sure there are a lot of you do, and I'm not going to try to teach my grandmother to suck eggs. But for those who don't know, yeah, there's different levels of like, there's like high grade and low grade and medium grade, depending on how good your graphics card is. So that you can all play the game, but basically that's if you've got a really powerful graphics, it can go really detailed. But it does. You need a tough graphics card to do that. So that's what I'm saying. But what it's doing is, if you look sort of close, if you sort of home in on things, you'll see the colours flicker and change, and the meshes go from low res to high res. Typically it's not doing it now. It's always the way when you focus on it. Yeah, when I was with the telehandler was flickering, as was the dragon as well. So we'll go to the top of the field and we'll come down. Oh, that's so crawly wally. It is. I'm going to say we've been wasting so much fertilizer at this speed. Of course the bigger ones would not slow down like this, but you know, this is its job, so we're not going to steal it from it. Patience is required. Something that I really need to definitely develop. Ooh, wow, can't even turn properly. Wow, apologise, it's just really, really awful. Whoa. I suppose I am stealing PTO power at the same time, in its defence. Right, one last little bit. This corner's a little bit bad, and then that is it. I think we should be sort of fairly cooking on gas. Everything's been done. We've not got a stone picker, so that's the one poor thing that we... Yeah, Uzan Riverbend Springs. We've not got one there either. I think I've missed that front section. Oh, okay, so we did half. I did wonder if half of that had been done. Right, so actually that has been done. So we just need to lime now this field. Yeah, yeah, let's get on a bit. It's August. We do need to do it, and I probably will forget. I know I'm lying. I'm a terror for that, but yeah, well, it'd be nice to make a little bit of a traction. Or we've not just sold $600 euros worth of thing, and that's all we've done the session. Well, I suppose we have cultivated the field, yeah, and all we are going to be doing the rice in the morning, aren't we? That I'm happy to do that. So let's crack on. Let's get that done. Right. So then, yeah, I remember. I do. 9 o'clock. Actually, no, we'll do 8 because it is harvest as well. So. As you've noticed, I haven't used courseplay at all. Yeah, it is true. Certain ones, it's less intrusive, the AI workers, and they don't do a bad job. That doesn't mean to say I won't be using courseplay, but I'm going to try to use it carefully. Right, so that's not a bad 1.8 metre tree stumps and bushes. Oh, I've not tried that one. I didn't realise that was a mulcher like that. No, I didn't. Right, okay, so then we should now have this is ready to rock and roll. And it is. Let's get this done. We can finally use out. We could send the fence to finish off the second stage of fertilising on that big field. Oh, now we can do it on my sow, can't we? Being silly. Have we got any lime? Oh, then he can't use my lime, I've got to do it, so we'll leave it for now. Let's get the harvester going for the first time ever. We've never used this at all. And we're going to grab the big... Yeah, because we're not going to get much of an opportunity, are we, really, to use that big trailer, really. Because the pea harvester cannot cope with it at all, so... do love that. I've got to be honest, the sunbeams coming through the trees, that's quite a phenomenal effect. That sort of took my breath away the very first time I saw it. I thought that is something else. It really is. Giants have done a cracking job with that, and I know there's an awful lot of uproar against what's... Yeah, there's people saying, is this the worst? This was supposed to take the game to a whole new level, and is this the worst game ever in the franchise? I'm like thinking, whoa. I've got to be honest, I did say it myself that it wasn't ready to be released. Even though they've had like so long to release it. Sometimes, I'm not saying that they won't pull it back. They've already done a lot of updates. Not that it's fixed anything, but I'll set this going. It doesn't matter about straw. Yeah, if you look closely, it's flashing on the harvester. The colours are going bright and then dark. That's all to do with changing between meshes. Yeah, you can see the end of the pipe going like high and then low, changing completely. It really is quite bad. Yeah, I did say this myself, that it wasn't ready for release. It really wasn't. I've got to be honest, when I was listening to the content creators that had early access in the partner program, obviously I was watching Mr. CDP with interest to see if I could glean anything, get any early sort of secrets on how to get a jump on things. And I sort of got the impression, they didn't say, but they sort of did, you know, like they were talking about this feature could be gone at any moment, and I'm like, well, if that's baked into the thing, really, that's not terribly good if that can be like ripped off like that. So I was a little bit, put a question mark in my mind back then, really. Right, let's go grab that trailer. We're going to try and... I mean, it might be the worst move we ever made, but I think sometimes you've got to try these things. I think this rice box might well be a really good move for the farm. And again, as I said, it might be the worst one as well. So... But you don't... Yeah, no pain, no gain. You've got to try sometimes and see, and then like think, yeah, sometimes it's like the peas. I knew the price of peas on their own was good. I knew I was going to get that. I didn't see what it was. Yeah, I knew the price of peas was good, so I thought, well, you surely can't lose on that. But I thought, well, yeah, but you don't know if it's like soybeans, or you really don't know to what extent, you know, like how much you're going to get in a field. It could be the worst thing you ever do, but you've got to try these things. I also tried spinach. Yeah, I did try spinach. That I don't want to do. No, even though you can do it twice, it's very, very poor, I personally found. So yeah, I'm really not interested in that at all. Right, I think really, being as this is the job, I think we ought to do this, because they'll faff around like going all the way around and all manner of things. So let's just get this job done. Yeah, so I'm saying my words are going to go into a little bit of it. Oh, look at the rocks. That really emphasises what I mean between going like low mesh to high. Really bad. And that's what I'm saying. I've now got just pure graphics settings, and this is a real high-end graphics card. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying, what I'm saying is it can cope. No, yeah, I'm not like bragging, like, oh, I've got a really good graphics card. What I'm saying is that this can cope with it. There's nothing about it not being able to cope with the graphics. Never had any trouble on FS25 either, and that was on high settings. The flashing of the harvester and the way that meshes are, obviously you set your level, you say it right. I want mine's custom, where I've like customized certain things, because no matter how good your graphics card is, sometimes your performance can take a hit. I used to always switch the clouds to very low, whereas I've got them on like I think high rather than ultra high, something like that. So I've downgraded it slightly. I thought it is nice to see them. You don't look up very often, but when you do, and typically it's not bad to sort of see. But of all the things, I used to switch shadows off, but then I switched it on one session. I thought, oh, it really doesn't make a difference to have shadows cast by foliage and by your equipment. So I'll switch that on. Yeah, and so there's certain things I don't want like to be off, because it looks silly. But what I mean is those meshes shouldn't go from one to another. Right, anyway, yes, just you know, yeah, I'm going to say I was looking on there's whole YouTube videos about it, so it really is quite a lot of ill feeling at the minute. I mean, and I said it's a bit, I didn't say this, I've got to be honest, there was the last pack, obviously I signed up for the, or with it being a content creator, I think you do anyway, you've got to really, you've got to sign up for all the DLCs, you haven't got to, but I just think that people would expect it of you, so I do, and also it's a hobby too, I suppose, so I would just do it anyway. But what I mean is I do it primarily because of the channel. I think, yeah, I've got to have that. But the last one that was released that I paid, it wasn't a lot, it was $4.99. I tried every single thing on that I would use, including the where you put it in instead of manure, and you got that. And I thought, I earn more from manure than I do like from this special thing where I'm spending like acid and stuff like that, and that does it instead of my manure pit. I'm like, I did it for a couple of sessions on Stevie's map, and I thought, nah, this is a right load of rubbish. I thought I had high hopes that of all the things that was the one that was gonna, washing vegetables. Didn't mind the washing the vegetables, but what? I've got to like wash them 10 times a day. No, thank you very much. No. Ain't no one got time for that. It's true. It's ridiculous. So I was exceptionally disappointed. I thought, what a waste of $4.99. Not a single thing that I'm ever going to use. The sheds were mediocre, but we'd already got fantastic sheds released by modders that were much, much better. I thought not a single thing out of all of the things that Giants have released in that pack am I ever going to use. So I was very, very disappointed. I think the game working, I think that's because FS22 wasn't fixed. It was never right till the day it stopped, and that was disappointing because it wasn't right. There's no denying it. That there were bits featured. Manure was broken an awful lot throughout the game. Again, I'd have to take all the mods off, but who is going to play this game in base game? I'm not being nasty, but it's almost... no, I don't fancy going down that little hill thing with this harvester. I think that's a little bit too much. Yeah, without the mods, this game is not rubbish, because the mechanics, the physics that Giants do are all fantastic, but it's the mods that make the game. Giants, they're not generous enough. They're very conservative on prices. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a few things that have surprised me over the years, of like 19, 22 and now 25, and 25 surprised me the most, I've got to be honest. There's a few things that like the Fent that we've got. There's a few, the sprayer, amazing price. There's a few little things, even the International, the lorry, it's not the most powerful, but it's a good starting, and it's 45 grand. There's certain things that Giants have done this time that are out of character. Yeah, the only other time it shocked me, FS19, it was the Alpine map, the fields that nearly everybody went for, everyone recognised it as really good value. That was out of character. Giants have never done anything like that, where they've done a good price. The fields have always been expensive, they're all uniform. But that field was really special. It was and I was scratching my head to think, oh, the BGA on there, which of course Disturbed Simulations made him famous. It's famous BGA that really got us all, because to be honest, to use the normal BGAs, unless you're injecting like millions or hundreds of thousands, there's not many people can afford a BGA. And I wouldn't want I did on Horsh. I actually did grab the little one, and it's not fit for purpose. It's just, no matter what you do, you produce way too many bales for that thing to ever. You'd have to have the tiniest grass field and just keep cutting your grass, and it would keep that BGA busy. And it's quite a large one, and yet it's not. Why have we? Okay. I think we're hitting like a collision on that the water thing. If we go at the side, it might get away with it. Just yeah. Perhaps if you come at it dead on, because if you go sideways, you can actually get away with that line full stop. Yeah, so it's. But I've got to be honest, of all of the iterations, I'm most surprised by some of the things Giants have done on FS25, but I'm also scratching my head as to like some of the silly things that have been done on this. So I can exactly see where people are like, going on about, how terrible it is. Is it the worst ever? I can see what people mean. It wasn't ready for release. And Giants must have made millions off us all, because a lot of us went for early release. I mean, if you're a content creator, again, you really are. I personally think you've got very little choice. I think I've gone for the first year. I think I've done that. I usually do. Season pass. I think I paid the extra for the season pass as well, but I'll have to check. And it cost me far more than ever before, and all I got was a harvester and things that I'll probably never ever use. So it's too expensive. It is true, definitely. Oh yes, we're having a good Giants bashing session. But to be honest, I'm not. I'm the first to say that, and I've sort of stuck up for them. Some of the things they're not. I mean, I love some of the features that we've got. I just hope this time with FS25 we actually get a finished game at some point before we move on to FS28 or 27 or whatever we're going to move to, because I've got to be honest, I think a lot of people's patience is wearing thin. Mine was on FS22. It was good enough, but it wasn't right, and I knew that. I said that quite a few times. FS19 was finished at the very end of FS19. It was a really good game. Yes, it had got its flaws. There's no denying that. Silage clamps and stuff like that. You hit the polygons and you get caught on them and all that. That's much better. It was much better in FS22. It's much better in FS25. But it's still things like the manure and stuff like that, where you've got to do the straw to manure mod and stuff. Without that, and I mean, it's still not right. You should get. You've got to try and guess how much straw you've got, and it's just not. It's not right. Sorry, how much manure you should get from a certain amount of cows, and that's not right. I don't like to cheat, and there's an element there where you're guessing, and I don't like that. I'll do it, but it's not pleasant. I do like the damage. There's a lot of it. I love the damage. I mean, I hate it. What I mean is we're taking damage in the field, but it's realistic. I do love that. I mean, I'm trying to pit myself against the same things that a farmer has got to do, and I've got to be honest, the twister, we had a very close shave on Riverbend Springs, very close shave. It literally hit the farm across the road, and our field is right next door to that farm. So again, I still, if it had ripped off my field's pieces, it is what it is. I'm going to keep all of those disaster things on, and again, if you don't want it, but it's realistic. If you want to play realistic, if you don't, then of course switch it off by all means. Yeah, I'm not trying to demand that anyone else do things like I have, but I'm honest, because if you want to see DJ Gohan, then DJ Gohan, go and see DJ Gohan, because that's not me. I'm heading for realism, where rocks don't disappear and flicker in the background, and yeah, I mean, again, it is almost impossible at present to actually do things properly without all of the horrible detractions and things like that do affect things and do ruin the game, and definitely ruin immersion, definitely ruin realism, without a shadow of a doubt. It is quite awful at present, but it is what it is. Right, I need to get these cultivators out. We'll get the 2 as well. I'm going to get the also check to see if these need ploughing, because if so, we use the subsoiler. I do love that, the fact that it can do the ploughing state as well. It is quite an amazing thing. Yeah, I don't think I properly appreciate that in FS22. It's quite amazing now. Sometimes you really don't appreciate what things do. The Snuffle Stuck has caught me out. That's a real cracker as well. In so much as you can bale with like forage wagons, you can bale with harvesters. Quite amazing the things that you can do with the Snuffle Stuck. So my eyes are open now. I'm hopefully going to use that more. I'm still scratching my head at why the smaller one is dearer. I don't know why we're paying nearly double for less. All it is less metal. So shouldn't we be paying less, not more? But apart from that, it is still good. I prefer the small one, but to be honest, the big one does. Yeah, it does the same. I tried it with the harvester now, because they go in quite a long way. I did it with the long and I did it with the short. I preferred the short, but it really didn't make any, because you're going straight. It just means you're turning circles a little less at the end of the field, but really that's not the end of the world, is it? So right, that's 2 rows, and then we will definitely set the cultivator going, but we will check to make sure we haven't got they're not needing ploughing or anything. So we'll jump back now, actually. No, they don't need ploughing, so it really is just a matter of getting the 2 cultivators going, get these fields ripped. It shouldn't take too long, and we'll go through. Yeah, I don't know. I think what I might do is, call this the session, but I am going to do another session straight after. I would like to do Rizu Forest, but yeah, I'm a bit afraid that it's going to get released, but there is one thing I could do. There's 2 things I could do. I thought, well, I could either edit the trees out, because I'm on an alpha map anyway, so it doesn't matter, and obviously not earn a penny for it, because what I'd like to do is clear that. But I thought, well, and then or there's a new feature of I'm trying to think of his name. The chainsaw mod. I can't think for the life of me what it is called. Oh, I should know. I use it all the time. Yeah, the chainsaw mod. You can stick super strength off, and it says you can destroy trees. Well, that's a new one. So I thought, like, because what it is if I'm above on, I need to go really high and then like drop down, or go from the other side might be better, without taking the Massey out, but we've just paid quite a bit of cash for. Oh. It's quite high, isn't it? I thought I might get away with that. Oh wow. I apologise for that. It's somehow letting me letting me get away with that. And for once I'm not going to argue. Yeah. I know they all sort of, yeah, I normally could get away with that. That's a bit bad. Let's stick this away. And we'll get the 2 cultivators going. That was a little bit close. Yeah, let's get this washed and done, and yeah. Yes, I'm unsure as to what to do with the Rizu Forest one. That seems an awful lot of repair for that little bit of work. I don't think that was. I think it was obviously damaged already. I'm sort of stuck inside. Yeah, there's another thing I'm going to say, and I'm not being funny. Obviously, if you look at the writing on that Massey again, yeah, now that's it. I suppose it's going between the meshes. You can see the Massey goes really nice, and then it goes. There's a lot of low meshes sometimes. I was noticing it on the road signs. Giants are doing something clever. It's almost like leaving a shortcut. Most of the signs on the game, they're not actually there. The game calls for them as you get closer to them. You don't see it happen, obviously. They're just drawn in advance. Do we stick this? We haven't really got room, have we? And it is true, I would like to put a shed on the other side of the house, but you just wouldn't do that. It is true, it totally ruined the vision, the view. So I can see why this is just a slab of concrete, because there's just not enough. Oh, I've left the header trailer. I've got to be honest, on a farm with the size of that header in the first place, it's really not ever going to make a lot of difference. Really wrong. Let's set these 2 cultivating going, and I think that is where I'm going to leave it. Do you need to do the mulching on the rice fields? They're a bit special, aren't they? We've already got one fertilising state. Let's just check. Let's use the nosh and see if you're going to get your mulching bonus. Because if you are, it's worth doing. If you're not, then it's just not worth doing. I'm not going to do it on them all. I'm just sort of see, because I can't afford to waste the time faffing around. We can set it going on 1 and see if it actually does the mulching bonus. Do we get this going purple? And does it? I mean, because it'll always do the animation. Sometimes I look and I think, oh, if it does the animation, it's good. But is it? Does that really? I mean, that to me looks like a proper mulching bonus. Yeah, it is. That's working. So right, these fields aren't going to take long. Let's just grab the little Massey, the big Massey. So we've got 10 tons of long grain rice, which actually I think is slightly more than the short grain. But again, I think there's less wastage. The short grain seem to get treated the best of all. Yeah, it's got some although I don't know, it's true. There's some really interesting I can't think of them recipes. Yeah, where one thing gains quite well out of this one, but then it's really poor on another. Yeah, but this you can see the flashing and flickering of the graphics a lot. You look closely, the black goes silver, and it's like all these fancy meshes are all not working correctly. So let's grab, stick that in, and stick the, and we shall see whether I am right about the rice boxes. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's another thing. There's the other thing. There's quite a few things, little things that make me scratch my head. Like these little factories, cracking idea. Are they finished off? Well, I personally don't think so. I mean, if you're using a trailer, which most people are going to back up with this with a trailer, you need the tiniest, weeniest trailer to hit that thing, because it is such a tight. Yeah, I literally, if I'm not in exactly the right place, it won't go in. It's that touchy. I mean, I've made a few of these, as in like I've tweaked them, and it is on Riverbend Springs. I said I'm going to tweak the box because it's driving me crazy. Like after, like, you go a little bit more that way, you go a little bit more that way, and now you know what I mean. It's just silly. So rice bag. No, here we go. That's the one we want to activate. So what is the recipe like, though? I've gone on about this like it's fantastic. Well, yeah, this is tweaked 100 for 75, so I think they're all pretty much of a muchness. They were all very high. I think they were 100 for 45, which for giants isn't terrible, but it is still terrible, really. The loss is just untenable, personally, I think. But, yeah, so we need to grab a cultivator. Let's grab the original one. Yeah, it makes no difference, does it? It's not. If it needed ploughing, I'd obviously use the other one, but let's show a bit of love. And to be honest, though, I would have thought the other one was easier to handle. I mean, your turns are going to be better. In a way, this is sort of surplus to requirement, but there are many times where you can set 2 going, so it's never really a waste of time. I think it's still a 4. But for little tiny fields where you've got to turn quickly, I would imagine this subsoil is a much better idea. Set this going, and we need to set him going on the headland first. I'm going to clock one of those, or both. Do you know, I'm a terror for that. You know, like, why do you not just get out and move one of them instead of, like, trying to carry on? Looks like the mulch is not quite on the edge of the field, but hey ho. Right, so if we set the headland going first. Let's grab that mulcher. This is just going to beat me. Right, I was going to stop the session, wasn't I? Yeah, I was going to set these going, but right, I'm going to go into a brief time. Let's get this finished, and then I literally am. Yeah, we're going to call this because I'm tired. I'm usually better at this than this, so yeah, I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Right, I'm going to set this going. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I was just thinking, the one thing I am going to say, that all things considered, though, I have got to be honest, FS25, I think if Giants even half finish it like they did FS22, that it really is going to be probably one of the best game in the franchise. I've got to say that, just in their defence. I can see the potential, but how it pans out, that's all into Giants' hands. That's something that nobody other than Giants can really say. So yeah, it's in their hands as to how this goes. But yeah, oh wow, look at that though. That is terrible. They really have got to get a lid on things like that. That is awful. Anyway, yes, all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.